Give me reasons to doubt, try to keep me down, but I'll put the flame out, you can't get to me.
And today, we're counting down our picks for the top 10 celebs who have ruined their careers in 2020 so far. For this list, we'll be looking at famous people whose past or recent actions seriously damaged their reputations in 2020. We're not saying it's impossible for some of these celebrity careers to recover. In fact, some may have already been redeemed. But if a celebrity's reputation took serious damage in 2020, they will be eligible for this list. Number 10, Lea Michele.
Why is everybody leaving?
Because this party blows.
In May 2020, Lea Michele tweeted her support for the Black Lives Matter movement, but the tweet became a lightning rod for controversy when her former Glee co-star, Samantha Ware, replied to the post. Ware said that Michele had insulted her, targeted her, and threatened to get Ware fired off the show.
I knew from day one when I attempted to introduce myself. There was nothing gradual about it. As soon as she decided that she didn't like me, it was very evident. It was after I did my first performance, that's when it started.
Shortly after these accusations became public, many other actors and actresses told their own stories about Michele's bad behavior on the hit musical series, as well as other productions. As the controversy continued, food delivery company HelloFresh severed their ties with Michele. The actress eventually issued an apology on Instagram for her past behavior, but in an interview with the Variety shortly after the blow-up, Ware questioned whether Michele had truly learned from her mistakes. Number 9, Nick Cannon.
So then these people who didn't have what we had, and when I say we, I speak of the melanated people.
Right.
They had to be savages.
Actor, comedian, rapper, director, writer, producer, and television host Nick Cannon's career took a hit in 2020 when a video began trending online of his interview with former Public Enemy member Richard Professor Griff Griffin, who famously left the rap group after making anti-Semitic comments to the Washington Post in 1989. In the video from his podcast, Cannon's Class, Cannon made many controversial statements himself. It wasn't long before longtime Cannon collaborators Viacom CBS dropped the multi-hyphenate from their roster because he, quote, failed to acknowledge or apologize for perpetuating anti-Semitism. In response, Cannon said that he had, quote, no hate in his heart nor malice intentions, and called for, quote, unity and understanding.
And instead of trying to make friends, they said, we want what you got. Because there's this mentality of whether it's the Caesars or even that we have to conquer.
Right.
Number 8, Hartley Sawyer. Team Flash might have to save the day without the elongated man next season. Hartley Sawyer played the stretchy superhero in seasons 4 through 6 of The Flash. But before he put on the mask, the actor joked about racism, sexism, assault, and other taboo subjects on Twitter.
Other tweets featured homophobic language and were degrading towards women.
When these tweets re-emerged in 2020, Sawyer was fired from his role on The Flash.
People like me are just trying to get from one bill to the next. And I wouldn't have to be living like that if you hadn't cost me my job. You got yourself fired!
After he apologized for his actions, both his former showrunner Eric Wallace and co-star Grant Gustin expressed their anger and disappointment at his distasteful tweets.
And then, one night, it's gonna dawn on you that you did the wrong thing.
Number 7, Ellen DeGeneres. The voice behind Finding Nemo's Dory can't seem to stop swimming into controversy in 2020.
When life gets you down, you know what you gotta do?
I don't want to know what you got to do.
Just keep swimming, just keep swimming.
When Ellen joked that quarantining herself in her mansion was like being in jail, she was called out for not recognizing her privilege.
One thing that I've learned from being in quarantine is that people, this is like being in jail, is what it is.
Shortly after she made this joke, numerous people shared stories about Ellen being mean and disrespectful to her guests and staff. But the biggest controversy revolved around her show's production.
I get to come to work every single day with people who make me laugh. I love everybody I work with.
Several members of her television crew had their pay reduced and saw their roles replaced by freelancers when Ellen's show moved to a virtual format. Amidst all the controversy, Ellen won a Daytime Emmy Award for the Best Daytime Talk Show in 2020. But even so, with some, her reputation has taken a hit. Number 6, Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson. YouTube sensations Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson are known for their controversial behavior and feuds, but 2020 took things to a whole new level.
Like how bad? Really bad. I'll show you before and after later.
Controversial content from both creators resurfaced that year, including screenshots of an old Jeffree Star Cosmetics website featuring Nazi imagery, as well as old Shane Dawson videos featuring blackface and use of racial slurs. Dawson was also called out by Jada and Jaden Smith for making inappropriate sexual remarks about Willow Smith when she was only 11 years old.
Jada tweeting, quote, "To Shane Dawson, I'm done with the excuses." Jaden tweeted a series of red-faced cursing emojis, writing, "I'm screaming at the top of my lungs."
As a result, Shane's YouTube channel was demonetized and he lost other business deals, while Jeffree remained silent. If the past has taught us anything, however, it's that this Dramageddon is far from over.
I'm ready to own up to this stuff, and I'm ready to hopefully show you guys that it's okay to admit when you're wrong. It's okay to be upset at your past self for making mistakes, but also it's okay if people don't want to accept your apology.
Number 5, Doja Cat. Shortly after Doja Cat's single Say So trended up to the top of the charts in May 2020, hashtag Doja Cat is over party started trending on Twitter. The hashtag picked up traction after rumors and questionable videos suggested that Doja Cat made appearances in racist chat rooms. Twitter users also alleged that the title of her Din Do Nuffin song was a racist reference meant to mock African Americans who experienced police brutality.
If you're a true fan of me, if you're young, all of my young fans, people who look up to me, my behavior isn't something that always needs to be followed. I'm not perfect.
While Doja Cat apologized for using the term, she said it was never meant to reference current events. She also denied taking part in any racist conversations or associating with white supremacists. Number 4, Lana Del Rey. Singer Lana Del Rey felt her songs were constantly being criticized for, quote, glamorizing abuse. So in May 2020, she took to Instagram to defend her works. Del Rey started the post by claiming artists like Nicki Minaj, Beyoncé, Cardi B, and more were able to sing about sexuality without being called out. Fans felt Del Rey needlessly criticized her fellow female artists while ignoring the fact that they have received backlash in the past. They also felt like she was specifically targeting women of color in her complaint. Unlike other celebrities, Del Rey skipped the apologies and started defending herself against angry fans.
The culture is super sick right now, and the fact that they want to turn my post, my advocacy for fragility into a race war, it's really bad.
Although her Instagram post was meant to reduce criticism coming her way, she may have drawn more critics against her. Number 3, 4 members of the Vanderpump Rules cast. Bravo's Vanderpump Rules reality show may have set the record for the most cast members fired in 2020. Max Boyens lost his job after screenshots of various racist tweets emerged. Brett Caprioni was dropped for repeatedly dropping racial slurs in his tweets. But Stassi Schroeder and Kristen Dout's actions may have been the most dangerous.
A Bravo spokesperson confirmed to Variety that the 2 cast members, who have been a part of the show since its first season, would not be returning.
In 2020, a story re-emerged of the incident where they called the police on their African-American co-star Faith Stowers for a crime she didn't commit.
It was just funny because they thought it was me because it was a black woman with a weave. So they just assumed it would be me.
Although all 4 of the fired reality stars apologized, neither the network nor the fans seemed ready to forgive them. Between the bad press and the loss of so many cast members, some fans are ready for Bravo to cancel Vanderpump Rules altogether. Number 2, Chris D'Elia. During his tenure on Netflix's You, Chris D'Elia played a predatory comedian.
Well, I never pitch without at least 1 scotch in me for luck, so in your case, what do you want, juice?
Yeah, I'll take a watermelon.
Okay.
In 2020, a number of Twitter users claimed that Art may have imitated his real-life behavior. Multiple women accused D'Elia of asking them to meet privately, send explicit photos, or do both while they were under the age of 18. While D'Elia has strongly denied all the accusations against him, he also apologized for how he's behaved with his lifestyle.
That's my fault. I own it. I've been reflecting on this for some time now, and I promise I will continue to do better.
Although he's yet to be charged with a crime as of early July 2020, he's still faced consequences. D'Elia was fired from his talent agency, had his comedy special removed from Comedy Central, and had his episode of Workaholics taken off multiple streaming services.
Seriously?
Stop! Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are a few dishonorable mentions. Abby Lee Miller. Allegations of toxic, biased behavior.
She deserves nothing. Don't have an attitude that you are entitled in this world. You are not.
Peter Hunsaker. Racist, sexist Instagram post. Vanessa Hudgens. Disturbing coronavirus comments.
Yeah, people are gonna die. It's just terrible, but inevitable? I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this right now.
Victoria Fuller, modeling in a White Lives Matter photo shoot.
Cosmopolitan has pulled the cover of its next digital edition that features Bachelor contestant Victoria Fuller after learning that she had modeled a clothing brand that featured White Lives Matter.
Dee Gwynn tweets about Black Lives Matter.
As a result of Dee Gwyn's offensive comments, they have severed ties with her. While the season will air as planned, the show strongly condemns systematic racism and stands with those raising their voices against injustices.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. J.K. Rowling. A series of statements made by Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling in June 2020 had some fans calling her Voldemort, or more specifically a TERF, which stands for Trans Exclusionary Radical Feminist. Following up her earlier Twitter history on the subject of transgender women, she released an online essay explaining her views.
She's now written an essay on her blog addressing the accusations and saying her opinions stem from her own experience with domestic violence. That's why she's been pushed to advocate for women's rights, she says.
Although Rowling's post discussed many topics, her opinions on biology and gender, as well as concerns with people who identify as women using female bathrooms and spaces, drew the most criticism.
I'm sure there used to be a word for those people. Someone help me out. Wumbin, Wimpund, Wumud, she wrote.
The author's statements inspired Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson, Stephen King, and many other celebrities to voice their support of trans people.
I am deeply sorry for the pain these comments have caused you.
Her words also caused multiple authors to resign from the same literary agency as her. Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.